how are you applying your storytelling expertise to teach others about American whiskey?
Well, I'm doing my best to tell the story of American whiskey through through the history of whiskey in the United States. I mean, that's a big part of it. Bourbon, particularly, is a fascinating product and obviously a delicious one. But bourbon is a distinctive product of the United States of America. It can only be made here, and it has, American whiskey. Whiskey has been made in this country since before we were a country. And then we had the Whiskey Rebellion, and the rebels moved west, and Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, and all these really interesting characters were involved in the evolution of how American whiskey is how we drink it today. And I just get really fascinated about all of that stuff. And I try and portray that in a way that's fun and interesting and lively, so that people can learn about a spirit and not just know it from the technical aspect. It would be easy to sit someone down in front of a glass of rye and say, oh, this is 100 proof Rittenhouse bonded rye whiskey. It was introduced in yada, 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 and the flavor profiles are this, that, and the other. You might want to open up with an ice cube. And then you get the technical aspect of a product, but you don't get the story behind it, which I think is really important. Why the distillers decided to, create the recipe for the mash bill in this sort of way. And, maybe the recipe was, lost for a number of years, or it evolved over a number of years, or, changed hands for a number of years, or, where was it originally made and why, and what was the original name, and who were the distillers, like who were the creators. All of these things does tend to create a story behind this product that makes drinking it kind of an evocative process. So instead of just, a very basic, I'm having a glass of whiskey and it tastes nice. You taste it and you have a little bit of history and a little bit of science and maybe a little bit of art in your head as you're enjoying the spirit. So I try to, as best I can, evoke those things when I'm giving a whiskey class and I'm teaching people about this wonderful, marvelous thing.